Hello and welcome to Beyond the Rift, where I'm your host, Blind Demon Machine, and this is my co-host, Rebel Zero. We will be talking about all sorts of things Smite related today, and all sorts of things have been happening today. Holy crap, while I was sleeping, it's like, oh, what's going on? And that's pretty much what's going on. So, we will be getting filled in by all these lovely gentlemen in here, because, as I said, I have gotten my eye surgery this morning, so I haven't been able to read crap since like 12 o'clock. And so I took a nap, and here I am.
Yeah, I had to drag him out of bed.
Yes, he had to come in here and drag me out of bed and be like, we got a show to do, man.
Yep.
No, really, he showed up late like normal, so I was already out here and ready.
And squinting at the screen because you can't read it.
Yes, so if I actually want to read something, it's more like that. But anyway, we were joined by Cooper, who is with SMITE Network. He runs it and has fun with it. Alakite from SmiteCast, as well as J.K. Kennedy from SmiteCasts. And High Rock from Bipolar Method, where it only just says Bipolar, because Method is apparently too hard to put in a title. And then, of course, Lionheart, the community caster of the gods. Because I guess he casts gods.
Oh my.
It's a very profound statement I just made there. Interesting.
No, it really wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It's actually a bad title.
So now it just looks like I'm bipolar.
Yeah.
Yep, you are bipolar.
Bipolar.
Best kind. Because everybody knows it, but he'll be like, yes, we need to do this and this and then, oh.
Hey, bipolar is the best poll. So.
Yes, it is.
It's all good.
So anyway,
hi-rez got a new site.
Yes, they did. They got a new site. Nobody knows where it is. Although if you go to smitegame.com, then it will take you there. But there is no forums there yet, so you know where to go for that. blgaming.com.
Yeah, blgaming.com. Check out all those 4 or 5 patches in the past 4 days.
6 days.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
Crazy.
there was a point. I was actually discussing it with Spoo. I was like, it's so hard to keep up with the news, being like the person that is a news aggregate at the moment, where you kind of take the patch notes and just copy them to help unload the main high-res site because it likes to crash when too many people go on it. And it's not like months ago where it's Thursday, I need to check for patch notes. It's Monday and Tuesday, and it could be Tuesday afternoon, and then again on Tuesday night they could patch it again. You just got to stare at the forums all day is what you got to do. And so it's been quite irritating. I can't wait until we get back to a normal 2 weeks we get a patch, maybe every week we get a balance change or something like that, and it's just on a pretty consistent basis.
Dude. They're listening to the community and changing things really, really fast.
They just took the shifter and went. So nobody can keep up with what's going on because I don't even know what patch we're on right now. It could be, are we on this live PTS one? Or is this the PTS one that's now on live? Or is it on PTS and then it's going on live tomorrow? Or is it back on PTS?
No.
It's so damn confusing.
Yeah.
Just
hit yourself with a hammer and then you'll figure it out.
Right. I really will.
Yeah.
I really will. So, who would like to sum up the events of this today, basically? Because apparently a bunch of stuff went down today.
Yes.
Cooper, Alakite. Don't anybody speak at once. I mean, you guys can all just sit there.
I mean, I have a list of everything that happened.
Do it.
Good. Do it.
A list?
A list.
Yeah, a list. I have a list of all the news.
How dare you make something so useful?
Oh,
Cooper, be useful on the show for once and say stuff.
Alright, so Stu posted the next patch is going to have some stat changes, and I can't go through all of them right now because there's a lot, but we'll all go in depth in that. But there's a new stat system coming into the game. Spec mode is getting up, down, back, or at least some up, down, back, not all of it. For the community, spec mode's going to be made more open for everyone to use once they get a 3-minute delay down, from what I understand. They're going to be publishing a lot of data on gods to the community very, very soon about their win rates, loss rates, how many kills they get, average per game, stuff like that.
And here's the kicker. Will it be from level like 0 through 30, 15 through 30, 1 through 15?
No idea.
No idea.
That's gonna make people rage
I wonder
when that information gets out.
well,
People are gonna be like,
Yeah,
wait,
didn't they
you're telling
learn
me
last
Loki's
time?
balanced and he's in a good spot because he pub stomps at 400 elo?
Yeah, it's gonna, and hopefully
That's
they
just an
don't listen
example.
to the pure feedback of this guy's OP based on stats.
Here's how they fix that. They let you have a selector. Would you like to look at all the god kills and stats from level 0 through 1, 0 through 50, 0 through 20, 20
I
through
want
25?
0 through 50.
I would like 0 through 50 as well. It's that 30 to 50 that's really overpowered.
Yeah. Damn, those bastards.
Continuing on.
Surfer Hebo skin very soon.
Finally.
Yes!
Hercules is in the next patch, which should be early next week.
Wait, the
Awesome.
next patch or the next content patch? Because
Well, I think they're combining all of this together.
Yay.
The next patch is going to have the executioner fix, which for those of you who don't know, it's only giving 0.7% reduce instead of 7. Pause feature is, I think, being looked at. I don't know if it's been confirmed or denied. I just heard a lot of talk between hi-rez and Duke today about that. And I assume that's because of the woggle. And a match of the day with friendly fire has been confirmed.
Oh.
Nice.
That should be pretty fun.
that'll be
That's all the
hilarious.
news.
Nobody's even going to leave the base.
Now. Do the kills still count for you? That's what I want to know.
You get negative kills.
Oh, who
But do
goes
they take
negative the
away
most?
money?
The biggest negative Ember win.
This is the biggest loser, you know. It's instead of losing weight, you're just losing money.
Are we gonna have a match of the day that's just a full-on free for all?
I want
Zeus.
all Zeus.
I guess
All
that's what this might
Zeus.
be.
All Zeus with friendly fire would be the best because it could bounce between you, like 10 ultimates at once. You couldn't even run in there. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be like a hurricane.
Oh yeah, it'd be great. Or like AK ults, that'd be pretty sweet. Just 10 AK ults going all over the place, hitting your own teammates.
Oh yes.
Agni will look like an artillery strike.
You guys have incredible ideas.
I
I still want it.
I wonder if friendly fire damages yourself too.
I still want
Interesting.
like mode of the day where you like you can only buy certain items, or like you can buy multiple of one item, like all Deathbringer or all Rod of Tahuti type.
All
game mode there.
Deathbringer, all
That'd
magic
be pretty cool.
casters.
Yeah, that would actually be rather interesting. All Deathbringers, all raw.
Yep.
Go.
Pretty cool.
AD Rock. Oh.
Lots of healing beams.
Oh,
Was that it,
yes.
Cooper, or was there more?
Wait,
No,
did
that
you
was
mention
it. We should
stats?
probably jump right into the stats.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it. Jump right in, baby.
Woohoo. Okay, well, I want to go first.
Yeah.
because
Go for
You're
it.
all
not?
excited.
basically, some of the stats, really, there's only going to be like 5 stats that are actually useful.
Sure.
Crit strike chance, life steal, sort of attack speed, sort of penetration, focus, move speed, stuff like that's basically going to be the only things that are useful, I think. Basically, the rest is going to be, I mean, pointless in my opinion. Like a physical god going all crit strike chance and hitting 40% free crit strike by level 20. It's pretty insane. Same if you do like physical life steal, you'll hit 40%, so you don't have to build any other items. I mean, that's the main advantage of it. You don't have to basically build any other items. You just only spec into the thing you want. So those stats like crit chance or life steal, where there's better items that you can buy with only physical or physical attack speed, stuff like that. You can just spec into that and not have to buy another item.
Interesting.
Some of the note though with the stat system change is that the items, the base items, not the stats, but the items are getting a price increase by, I think it's 20%.
Yeah.
It's 20%. So I think what they're trying to do by making them free with the gold increase is make it so by level 20 you're still getting about the same amount of damage out. But I haven't actually seen the prices on the items yet, so I don't know if that goal is going to be accomplished.
I mean,
but
wouldn't
I think
that-
that's what
That's what it sounds like they said
Wouldn't
when they
that make
mentioned it. It was
early
basically-
game a lot slower?
Not necessarily. I mean, it'll
No.
make it slower item-wise, but if you get free stats, you're going to be able to increase your damage about the same amount. So
It won't make it any slower than it is now. Right now, I think some of the games are actually getting extended quite a bit because people wait till the end for the stat system. So whoever gets to the end first, and there's oftentimes on the losing team, there's usually one player who is actually doing well. So that person will get to the end first with all this extra gold, start buying stats, and the only reason their team is able to stay in the game is because that person has been able to feed on somebody or feed on them individually, and thus he's maintaining his team in the game for an extra 20 minutes in the
Yeah, it seems
in the
like-
current build.
It seems like more of a snowball fest because, levels already are a big thing, but now the more levels you gain, the further ahead you get, even
Yeah.
more.
Oh yeah. If you're behind
I have
by
something to say about this.
Yeah,
I don't
go
share
ahead.
those opinions, as I play rank quite a bit. I don't see how games drag out they only drag out if there's only certain people on your team that are doing really, really bad, and then you only have like these 2 or 3 people that actually carry the game. And what this does is that you have like 2 or 3 people that actually does something in these team fights. And then of course the game will drag out, and most of these people don't know exactly what to build. So of course it drags out. But usually when people know what to do, the games only last like 20-30 minutes at tops.
Or they surrender because they know that they're
Yeah,
losing.
exactly.
Yeah.
That was one thing I appreciated when I was playing with a lot of the BLGNA guys. It was like, just it was like 10 minutes and they surrendered because they know they were losing quite badly. Versus where it's,
I'm so happy those games are over.
yeah,
Like that's like 2 months ago. Then games could just be over in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a bit sad.
So anybody else have anything to say on these stats? Lionheart, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about the stats is that they there's the way they're changes. They kind of feel a lot like runes now. Only like League of Legends runes. Only instead of being able to have them all at the early level when they're usually the most useful to have those small bonuses, you're getting them throughout the game. So it's like you have an empty rune page and you're playing the game and you're getting to fill the rune page out as you go along in the game, which in some ways is useful because then you can, I guess, pick the rune page that you would want based on the enemy's selection, like character selection. But then at the same time, like half the benefit of having all these little small bonuses is having them early on when you really need them. Like late game, like you're going to fill in some holes, sure, but I think what you're going to see more of is kind of what Alakite was hinting at, is that there's going to be specific stats that are just going to be really good and you're going to use those. There's just going to be some like 2 MP5 or 2 HP5, I forget which one was that too. They like you're just not going to buy that. Like that's you're not going to have that hole in your build. And I mean, I think that's what they're designed for, is to fill the hole, but I'm just not sure that this new direction is necessarily the better direction. I actually preferred having it where you had a longer game and you could take then your excess gold that before you never had anything to spend on other than the pots, the elixirs that boost you, and actually use it towards significantly boosting your stats. And anybody who played, I think, in the old version, or the current version rather, would say that buying stats before items was a bad choice. Or I think most would say that anyways, and so I like that way, kind of like an end game reward. Hey, you have 6 items, now you have something else you can buy. And now it's just kind of like, well, I mean, I guess it's free, so you won't not get it, but it's just not that useful in my opinion.
Now that it's free, there's almost no decision making here. It's free. You get 1 point every single level. They might as well create automatic new increases that you just get for leveling up for your god, depending what role you have. The choice is just kind of, you do it and you just move on. It's inconsequential to the gameplay almost in this point, kind of like a unneeded factor into the game.
And like, what's the point of forcing you to go back now? Like, just so that like the person who goes back gets like a slight reward. Like, I thought the whole direction of SMITE was moving towards encouraging players not to go back and increasing sustain and increasing action, so you had to go back as little as possible. I mean, at this point, why not just make it Dota 2 style, where I can just level it up as an ability rather than going back to the shop? It's just it's going in an odd direction. I think they had a good thing kind of when they decided it, as it was going to be an end game only thing, because people were buying it early on and hurting themselves in builds, and now it's just like, I think it's going a little bit too far in that there's so many people complain about the stat system that they're just making it kind of pointless now. Like, it's like at this point, like, either stick by your guns or just get rid of it.
You also spend more. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, just go ahead. I was just saying that.
I was just gonna say you spend more. Wow.
Go for it, Kennedy. Go, Kennedy.
Please, Kennedy.
It's one sentence. You spend more time back at the fountain instead of just choosing quickly and going on.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right now,
What do you got, Howard?
I don't really have an issue with stats because they are a bit out of control, especially late game. But right now, at this moment, I only buy them if I have excess money. If I have about 300 or 400 gold, I will buy them and a potion and go on. And especially if I like jungle a lot, I get like exactly the amount of penetration I need for the buff, so it will go that much faster. So it only takes like a few seconds to actually clear camp, even at level 6 or whatnot. So yeah, if they make them free it will make it too easy to get, like, if even 20% increase on items would be too little for the effort, or like for the efficiency of those stats you get. I feel, at least.
So are you saying you prefer the current way, or you? I guess I'm confused what you're saying.
Oh yeah. Personally, I would prefer like stats costing gold instead of you getting, if they were the same amount, that you get free per level. Because I have not had a single game yet where I have bought the max amount of stats at my level. So I would think it would be too good to just get them free. Like if you get 7 penetration for free each level as a physical carry,
but they're lower. The values are much lower now for what you get.
Yeah,
for free.
they lower the values.
Okay.
They're not it's not the same values. So now, rather than getting I don't know the exact values off the top of my head. But let's say now you get 10 penetration. Maybe now in the future you'll get like 2 or 3 when it's free.
Yeah, it's almost
like
it was.
It's not the same values.
The league stuff where you only got
that's
a
what I was
few.
worried about.
Yeah, you only get
No,
a few.
no. They actually publish the values. It's on the forums. So it's not the same values. But now the values are so low now that it's just kind of. I guess it doesn't feel as rewarding to go back and pick it up.
I agree.
I mean, they are lower, but the thing is, some of these stats, like I was saying, crit chance, life steal, penetration, stuff like that, where if you just invest only in that, by the time it hits late game, it's just so strong because you stacked it up. And, like, crit chance is one of those things that's pretty scarce in items, lifesteal too. And the fact that you can just grab it by itself is really strong, while you grab other items that, complement your damage more.
Yeah, even if it was only like 3% crit or 2% crit with 20 levels, I mean, that's really strong. So, yeah, it seems like it'll be a lot stronger if you just stack all of an original one, which I'm guessing will hurt some of the Magic users because they don't have really good stats like crit or. Magic penetration is good, but there's a lot of items with it. Yeah. As a Magic caster, it's really easy to get a really good amount of pen. So.
Is that about covered for the stats now? Anybody else have any last words on it before we move on?
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see when it gets implemented into the game.
Yeah. Actually, I have to
definitely
try
gonna
it
be
first.
pretty crazy. But I think, as Cooper was saying earlier, it seems like they're either trying to, phase them out, or they're, making them to the point where they're almost useless, and then they're going to, like, super buff them. Depending on whether they want to keep them in the game or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to be balancing it or changing it in a way where it's a downward slope. They're going to keep going to the lowest they possibly can, and then if we see a buff, I think that's basically them saying we're going to keep it. And if we see it keep going the way it is, eventually you're going to hit that point where you're just going to have to say it's not working. We're going to have to get rid of it.
Yeah. Cool. Well then, what are some of the other topics? Was there anything else on this list, Cooper, that you want?
Yeah. Anything else notable on the list?
What would be next on the list?
We're going to have a whole nother show before they release this, aren't we?
No, they're talking early next week, so.
Oh, early next week?
We should be able to test it out.
No, I don't think there's anything.
Weren't they basically saying custom games plus spec mode, or was that something else that I'm totally...
Ooh, I like custom games.
Are you blowing your cover with knowledge?
Oh, no. There's no, like, emails.
He's got the inside knowledge, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, inside
You
knowledge.
heard it here first?
Oh my gosh, I thought someone said something about, like, custom games and spectator mode, but...
Well, he's saying that
we talked about
spectator mode would be...
mode.
Here's one thing I wanted to say about spec mode. If they're going to do spec mode for the public, they're going to have that 3-minute delay. If they can get the 3-minute delay, then they should be able to do replays. Or recordings or demos or whatever the hell you people call them. I call them replays.
Okay, I disagree with that. Seeing as LoL has somehow still not had replays after...
Because LoL's bad.
How long is it? Years?
But
They
you
are
can
also-
you can rewind and speed back up though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the same as a replay.
I know, but I want that.
I think that would be cool, too.
That would be cool.
But, yeah, I
love
would
some
actually
rewind
like
action.
the good old-fashioned StarCraft 2 replays. Because
You
that
and
way...
everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, everybody else, too. Because then we could watch, the bipolar... or not bipolar method, but we could watch Juice versus Procore Gaming and watch it later after they finish yelling at each other. instead of having to wait for them to, get about all the argumentativeness out. So, Cooper, since you are now putting your hands to your face and you look like you want to cry, would you like to go over with what happened?
Yeah, tell us about Woggle.
What happened with Woggle
the
yesterday?
whole story. The
on
whole
my
story.
Hands and toes, how many DDoS happened in that game?
All right, tell us the whole story. What
Start
do we
from
got?
the beginning. So Juice was going to play Procore. That is your basis.
Juice did play Procore, and it's like they played, and the first match went fine. Everything was good in the first match, and it was a pretty good. Well, I guess a pretty good game.
Should we?
And then
Who won?
Juice.
Juice did.
All right.
Juice won.
But shouldn't we preface this with the fact that Juice just recently picked up Lacis and Matty Pocket, and they replaced
Well,
Harvest, and who else did they replace? Oh,
Anatoly.
Anatoly. Yeah.
I guess well, I think you should say that first of all they were supposed to play last week.
Yeah. All
But
right.
then-
So to start from the beginning,
Yes.
the rules were basically it was one match a week in playoffs, and the match was supposed to be played last week, but a reschedule happened, and it was played on. It was actually the initial reschedule was supposed to be for Tuesday, but then it just got moved on another day to Wednesday.
Great.
So game started yesterday at I think 4:20 was the actual start time.
Always a good sign.
Somewhere around there. And first game played out with the new roster, which there was some discrepancy about whether or not you should have that roster being played because of roster locks and unlocks. Played the first match, everything went fine. Second match comes around, and they get in game, and Matty Pocket DCs. He DC'd after creep spawned. And the rules are that if creep spawn or first blood happens and a DC occurs, the game plays out, but that one sole person can still reconnect. I don't know exactly how they all planned it, what happened, because I wasn't watching, but apparently everyone just DC'd at that point. They all just said, we got to remake the match. They weren't too clear on the rules. From what I understand, they thought it was end first blood, so they thought they could just remake the match if first blood didn't happen. Zapman and the rest of PCG decided that they weren't going to let them remake it because that the rules are rules. So a little bickering went on there. Third match comes around, tied 1-1. And PCG got a couple DDoS happen. Well, it was after creep spawn and before first blood, so Juice decided not to let them remake the match, and match unfolded, and Juice walked away with the win, moving into winner finals against Bipolar Method.
The best part was just watching the hi-rez chat. That was the entire best part of that. Watching people call basically each other BM and calling it karma, and it was just funny to watch.
People were
Good
really
time.
passionate about that. I remember watching that from my work desk and being like, "Holy shit!" Dude, freaking out.
That's what I was watching it from, right from work. I'm
Yeah,
like,
there was
this
a
is
lot of
retarded.
freaking out.
It's like, why are you taking this so seriously? It's just
There was a lot of fanboy talk thrown around.
Yeah.
Well,
Apparently, that's an insult today. Being a fan of somebody makes you a piece of shit. If you guys didn't know.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between being a fan and being like
Yeah, I know.
overly obsessive.
yeah, there's a difference
there's
between
fans
being
and
a
obsessive
fan
fans.
and like
As long as you're not crossing
dressing,
the
having your
line.
hair like them, doing their same mannerisms.
You mean Bieber? I mean Alakite?
Yeah.
And there's
You mean,
always
like,
going to
Philly
be
fans? Wait, did I say that?
Oh, Philly fans! Don't get me started. Oh God.
There's the fan. There's the one who pays $10,000 for your toenail.
Yankee fans who throw D batteries at players. Ridiculous. Anyway,
That
there's
was
always
hurt.
going to be that. There's always going to be that inside talk that the community doesn't know about between the teams on how to fix it. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
like, there's going to be a lot of BM talk thrown around, players saying, or the community saying this about one team and that about another. But you guys just got to let the teams fix it and get it sorted out, and just calm down. That's all I
Well,
can say.
on the bright side of this, wasn't it mentioned for a pause feature for the game possibly coming
Yeah.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah, they saw this, they're like, oh god, we need a pause.
Maybe it was all planned and it was actually a big, huge publicity stunt in order to get a pause feature.
Yes, it's a conspiracy.
That's right, Kennedy. Run
And
down
all
the
those
conspiracy
people in
hole.
chat were all conspirators.
Yep, they were all part of. They were all paid $2 to be a fanboy
Well, you didn't
for
have
one
to get
side.
chat to be conspiracy. You just gotta get the two teams to do it. The chat is obsessive fans. They'll just go right along with
So
it.
I have the question then: who had the biggest fan showing in the chat?
Yeah. Who?
Definitely Juice.
Definitely
Yeah.
Juice.
Definitely. There was not even a question there.
I do
Well-
want to. I do want to bring up the fact that you remember Juice and RG having some tit for tat arguments back in the day, and now that Lassie and Maddie are on Juice, it's like how many of these fanboys are like, what the hell is going on? I hate Juice, but my favorite guy is on their team now. What do I do? That's just. I
It
think
seems like they
priceless.
all switched over to Juice.
Obviously convert. That would be
Yeah.
the
Yeah, yeah.
smart thing to do.
You convert and then just forget about the past.
Yeah, what,
they were
what happened?
fans of RG. They were fans of people.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were.
But
Oh.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was kind of sad though, just seeing Smite isn't this huge community. You can kind of understand it in maybe League of Legends or some other game, but it's kind of sad seeing it in Smite, where people are getting DDoSed, and
Yeah.
especially like yesterday, how people are saying it's like a karma DDoS, where they were BM and so they had to DDoS them. I don't know. It's just sad seeing that in such a small community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I can't wait till the finals.
the statement kind of moves into the next topic.
Oh.
It's double elimination, so PCG is now playing the newly signed SK Gaming.
SK Gaming.
Can we call them SK now?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
They have-
SK has been officially.
not.
I'm
They-
pretty sure I
they
saw
got
them still
so
registered
mad
as
at
that other
me.
team.
They
Yeah.
Team
Yeah,
Random
they're
5, right?
they're
Isn't that
not
their
No,
name?
BLG.
it's not BLG. Is the
Yes,
official
our BLGEU team was more or less picked up by SK Gaming.
Yes.
So SK
More or
Gaming
less.
is now a participant in the Smite Pro community.
Yes, it is. And we were going to have them on tonight, but I was talking with Sio and them, and they hadn't gotten clearance from SK yet, like, to be on, and there's a whole... Like, I was asking him, like, what can he do with his contract, what can he do, like, just so I can have future knowledge of what we can ask him to do. There are so many rules! Holy shit! It's like, well, I have to clear it with this, and I could get penalized for doing that, and I got to be careful with doing this because we could have to pay a penalty, and I'm like, why do you want to do this? This sounds
It's
terrible.
what you look forward to being a pro.
Yeah, I mean, there was
Yeah.
so
Perks of
many.
it.
It was like, would you like to eat some food? Do you have to ask them to eat food? Maybe.
If they're not eating healthy food on stream, they
Right.
get penalized.
Right. They,
That's
they
the thing,
have
like,
to.
in the
No
My Revenge
donuts.
tournament. They were listed as Team Random 5.
Yeah.
And they got so mad at me for mentioning that they were SK Gaming on there instead and
Well,
calling
they
them that
had
a
it
couple
in their
times.
gamer tag.
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah,
did have
they had
SK
already,
in front
yeah,
of their
like he's
names.
like, we're not officially part of this. You're gonna get us in trouble. And I mean, at the same time, he's messaging me this, and his name in Smite that says SK Sio.
I love Sio.
Well,
He can be derp.
Yeah, it was funny. I was amused by that.
Don't call me a white person. Just don't.
I mean,
don't.
the only reason that it helps
not
them
white
is
until
it's like
next week.
people
Yeah.
see SK Gaming streaming Smite and they're like, "Holy fuck, SK! Gotta go watch them," just because they see the name and
Yeah.
they're like professional gaming organization. It's
I
Yeah,
will
And then
say
they're
say.
like,
it's a
wait,
shitty
wasn't that
contract.
guy on the other
I will say
team?"
that Sio had 2,000 viewers today on Owned for
Wow.
SK.
Oh,
Put out-
does SK have to
Yeah.
stream? Is
He's-
SK making them stream on Own 3D?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that
Styles
he.
been streaming on 3D for
Yeah.
a while. though.
Yeah.
Really, has
Yeah.
2,000 viewers?
Yeah,
didn't know
he
SK was on
he
there.
said he
Oh, has
averaged
he?
about 200, but once not the odd one, but one of the other big LOL streamers like went offline, his viewership just went whoosh. It's like everybody went from whatever they were watching to him, and
Interesting.
it was he said he maxed out around 2K. So I mean that's really good news for Smite right there.
Shot that, or are we just taking him at his word?
I'm taking him at his word at the moment. That's why I was kind of hoping for some solid. That's why I was like, "Are you still streaming?" Because I wanted to go on there and see, 1,500. So
I mean, I'm not saying somebody should cry wolf or anything.
I
Using their dual
understand.
cast, I guess they're both now.
We'll
That's the
we'll
case.
we'll keep an eye on it for tomorrow.
Yeah, I
like-
mean, if he
Yeah.
was, good for him, though. 'cause
Yep.
No,
And good
that'd
for
be
us.
absolutely
Yeah.
great. But
Yeah, good for him, good for us, and it makes Owned a viable option,
yeah,
which is nice.
Yeah, and also I'm going to be handling the SK content for Smite at the moment until something is worked out there. So I have to write the article.
Said he can confirm that 2K in chat. That's
And chat's always right, so internet's always right.
exactly.
Oh, well.
Hey, I mean, it's good because it's getting Smite out there. I mean, for the love of God, we want all these LoL players to get off of Odd One stream and to go over to Smite and be like, oh, this game seems like a lot of fun. And I actually have a chance to be a pro because these people I'm watching suck comparatively. I mean, who knows what they think. But it's
I'm watching this guy and he sucks. I can do this.
Or the fact that if they go to Owned or Twitched and they see that there's 15 streamers and then they go to LoL and see that there's 300 streamers, they're like, maybe if I want a streaming viewer base, I might switch over to Smite because there's not that many streamers yet. If I get in now, I might be able to, get a small following or something. I'm really hoping that we'll get a lot of the people who wanted to be pro for League to switch over to Smite because there's still very much a chance to, come in, build a good team, and just roll everybody that's currently there because it's not like we have picked the cream of the crop from the world. It's just all the people that have wanted to play thus far, and they're very good, and it'll take any new people a very long and hard learning curve because
not all that long.
Knowing the Twitch mechanics that is involved in this is very
not all that
necessary.
long. You could ask hi-rez Bipolar how many good teams have come up in the past month.
Right.
I mean,
hi-rez, how many good teams have come up in the past month? You planted that seed.
I don't really pay attention to that.
He's like, I just play the game. I don't really look at anything. I just like.
There was a lot of upcoming teams at a time, but it seems like they don't really play that much anymore.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be in and out until some more solidified tournaments and stuff start popping up. Like when hi-rez decides we want to throw a tournament where for 50 grand or something like that, or 10 grand or whatever number they decide, then you're going to see people be like, oh, time to make a team. Let's go. So.
But I must say, people are getting a lot better at playing the game. Like, it's just in normal games, people are actually doing well and making great builds. Like, of course, there's always rotten apples, but people are really improving.
Yeah, I mean,
in general,
it's been able to proliferate through the casual base that wants to play the game more. They've now had several months to get used to it instead of it being the one thing. Oh my God, do you remember playing it for the first week? Like literally the first week. I was playing a game or whatever, and there were some other people. I was doing all right. Some other people on my team were just terrible, and the people who were doing well were just screaming, "Oh my God, you suck it off the game!" And it's like the game is 6 days old. Chill the fuck out, dude. Not everybody has been playing it since minute 1 like you have. Jesus, that was just insane.
Yeah. I played so casually when it just came out, and then like a week later, Guan Yu came out, and I just got the biggest fake EP ever.
Yes, I remember that week.
That was a terrible week.
You're like,
powered on release.
No.
He was
That week is
unreleased,
just
dude, it was
forgotten.
so bad. Like,
I will never forget it. It's seared into my mind.
Then when Hell got the complete remake and stuff, then they put let's buff Hell.
Buffer to hell.
Buffer to hell.
how many patches in a row did Guan you get nerfed?
Like 5.
A lot.
I think it was like 5. They just
Yeah,
kept
they're
stepping
just
them
like,
down.
down,
They
down.
like the first 2 were just like maybe a shave a little bit off the top, and then the third one was like, "Ah, take that!" And then they're like, "Oh, we gotta bring him up a little bit."
Nonstop musical man when he first came out. You just kept hearing the drums beat all the time across the entire game.
I swear to God, it's a helicopter.
And then the sound wouldn't. I think it was even bugged to where the sound didn't stop playing.
Yeah,
So
I had that a
that's
few
the
times.
entire game.
They tell you that they use some drums to make that sound. I think they just went out and recorded a helicopter.
Yeah, made it a little lower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
made it a little lower, a little less windy. So
The damn wind.
now that we've covered the SK thing, what else is on our agenda for this week? Oh, we want to talk about PAX.
Yes.
And upcoming.
Oh.
Like
Woohoo.
me and this guy are going to be going to PAX.
Yo.
Lionheart should be going to PAX. Am I right?
I hope
That's
so.
the wrong direction,
Unless
I think.
something
Oh, I
changed.
thought if you're trying
Right.
to point at him,
Well, I'm pointing at the camera.
that
Yeah.
was just like awkward there.
That guy's going to PAX, right? Right? I mean, that guy. Yeah, and Alakite, you're also joining us there. Kennedy, you
Yeah.
planning on going?
I'll be there.
Good. Cooper won't be there because he'll be on a ship full of seamen.
Literally, semen.
No, Nothing wrong with that.
Let's be honest. PAX is going to be full of semen as well, probably.
Wow.
I don't know what room you're staying in, but
The awesomeness. So, what we hope to see is you people there.
Yes.
It'll be cool. Like,
He's all giddy.
I'm kind of being giddy for the time when I walk through PAX and somebody's like, "Oh, look at that guy!" I'm like, "Woo, this is cool." Because it's already. I mean, to be honest, I don't think of myself as a famous person at all. Like, I'm your average Joe. I like playing the game, and I'm just like you guys. But
You're really good at fixing cars.
It is very fun to get in a game, and people are like, "Oh my god, it's that guy from Beyond the Rift! I have to play awesome!" And I'm like, "No, you don't. Just play."
No, you say yes, you do.
Yeah, or people are like, they're playing with me on Saturday mornings, and they're like, "Oh God, I always do terrible when I'm playing with like famous streamers," and I'm like, "Okay, what is the problem then?"
It's like me too.
Me too. I always have that problem. So I mean, are you guys who are in like the limelight of SMITE? Is this? It's kind of cool. I like it. I have to admit it. It's fun. Anybody else enjoy that experience? God, you guys are dead!
I enjoy that. All right, I get that too. I enjoy an experience. Like, oh, it's Rebel Zero from Beyond the Rift. They're like, I love your show. I'm like, I love it too.
Or I wouldn't keep doing it.
Yeah, it's awesome. They're like, you guys do a really good job. I'm like, yeah, usually. Sometimes not. It's all right.
Some days are better than others.
I don't get that anymore since I stopped doing the Pantheon panel.
Oh, but you're on here.
So
Never
sad.
got it in the first place.
I don't know. I remember someone was like, "Oh, you're the reason I started playing Smite and bought the God Pack." I was just like, "Oh, so many feels. I'm so happy."
Yeah, and I don't ever want to feel.
Shut the fuck up when I'm in game, dude. They don't give me any recognition. They hate me.
I love the games when you're playing with someone from hi-rez and the person just starts raging after the game.
Yeah, I
and
love
stuff at
that.
'em.
I was in a game.
You don't really work for hi-rez. You're a fake.
Yeah.
Start cursing at them.
Do you think?
Yeah, I've had that happen a few times, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
How do you think this is a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. But I
Can we
definitely.
play? Oh.
I definitely don't want anybody who ever calls in here or like sees me at PAX or anywhere else to feel like I'm on this pedestal. Just say hi and like act like a normal person, and you will.
And if
I'm not gonna like be like, "Huh, you are but a lowly peon." No.
And if you ever see him and he is fact sitting on something tall, feel free to push him off of it.
yes, push me off of it.
'Cause
I do.
it will
enjoy
be
falling.
hilarious,
And hilarity shall ensue.
especially if you get it on video. I'll give you 800 gems.
Oh, priceless. Thanks. Putting a bounty on my head for 800 gems.
Hey,
You jerk.
I do what I can.
So, hi-rez, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
So you guys are now all back from your break of vacation winterines, miss?
Oh,
Right.
it's due tomorrow when Spoo actually gets home because he's been visiting his family.
Cool.
Recently.
He doesn't have a laptop?
I believe he
yeah,
does.
No,
but
but he's got a computer at home, but he spends his time with his family.
Oh, good
You
for
don't
him.
Like
see them that often. So.
like a good man.
Good for him.
Good man. So
he's
you
a
guys
good
gonna be
guy.
really hitting the training tomorrow hard?
No, but tomorrow I'm really looking forward to actually having games together, like
Yay!
consistently, instead of just like, oh, I can take 1 or 2 games at night. So
Awesome.
yeah.
That is awesome.
So, are you guys gonna be ready to face SK in coming weeks?
Oh yeah, sure.
He's like, yeah,
Ooh.
we're
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
just those guys.
Yeah, no
I mean,
problem.
we just. So, I guess if you would like to call in and talk about
we-
any of the topics we've already discussed, please do start messaging me while we continue talking here, and we will get to them. Go
Are we
ahead.
allowed to call them SK Gaming this weekend?
Yes!
Because they officially signed and
Yes.
blah, 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 blah.
That's why they can't be on the show
If they're
today.
streaming as SK unowned, I don't even care. They're being called SK.
Yeah.
Are they letting us stream them? There's a question. How about that? How about teams that don't let us stream?
Well, I mean, if it's a tournament, I'd say you can't even say that anymore. I'm
Well,
saying
if they
screw
put in
it.
the 3-minute delay, there
Yeah.
not anything that.
So yeah, so that brings a question. I mean, when they open up the casting larger to the community, these teams that are kind of right now saying, no, you can't cast our games and stuff, you can't cast our games and stuff, they're going to have a really hard time stopping a random person from popping in.
Okay, wait up. One, I'd like to say that they will probably change the way spectating is done.
Mm-hmm.
I did email, or I sent Duke a message a few days ago asking him about the whole spectating thing, and he's like, blah 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 blah. But talking about the whole
that was very
being able to
specific.
go in anyone's game, he's like, hopefully this will be addressed in a big patch next month. We'll see. So they're probably going to change the way you get into a game for spectating.
Sounds like custom games where you can, like in League, where
Check
you
a
can kick
box.
them out and stuff.
I was gonna say you probably have just like a
something
lockout
walls,
feature.
Where,
Or-
yeah, it's custom games, and probably you can like watch your friends and
Turn
stuff
off
like that.
spectator mode and stuff if you want to.
Yeah, like maybe StarCraft style, where you invite them into the game before it starts, and that's that.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, then you can't spec it. It'd be viable, very very useful. So I guess we will jump to our first caller here. That is wait,
Is it Baz? It's Baz.
Cooper. Cooper,
It's
are you
Baz.
prepared?
Where's my bat?
So
I have my sword
we have-
back there if
We
you
need
want.
Sturmies to call in here.
we have Baz with us now. How are you doing, Baz?
Good. How are you guys?
Great. How was your
What's
holiday?
up, dude?
I worked all the holidays, so kind of sucky, but hey, whatever.
Hey. Well, that's all right.
But you
20-hour
made-
I
shifts.
got paid time and a half. And
Yeah,
lots of
but you
money,
made
so-
extra money, so go
Yeah.
spend it on
Exactly.
some hookers
And beer.
and beer.
What?
What?
I look like-
I mean, you need
No
things to
game
hang your
agenda.
clothes. You need things to hang your clothes with, so you need hookers, so you can hang your clothes from and then hook them on things.
Oh my god.
Right.
Wow.
Don't even try and save it. We're telling your wife.
Demon's like,
Well,
yeah.
damn. Demon, you need to lay off the pain meds. Holy crap.
No, I don't, or else I'd be be sitting here being like, "Ah!" or something to that effect.
Okay,
He'd be like
anyway.
zombie clawing his face off.
Go
Can you
ahead,
make
Baz.
that noise one more time, just so that the people.
It's recorded. Go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So, I guess my topics for this week are more of just kind of the whole stat discussion that's kind of been talked over and over and over again. But I mean, I was talking to Pon in the Outlaw player room, and he was saying something about the way they're pushing the stats into the system. They might as well just add rooms like like League of Legends already has. Just kind of add like more of a pre-stat system before you get into the game. Just kind of divvy up all your stats that way. So, I mean, it sounds like that they're trying to like really push towards the smaller stats rather than all the end game stats that we have now. They're just really broken in the Snowball League. I mean, these stats are nice because you get the smaller percentage, but you don't have the snowball effect that you're going to have later on because you only get 20. So,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm not a fan of stats in any way, but if they're going to go this route, I'd rather them go put them in before than during, because
I vote
like
that
like hi-rez brought up, you spend too much time at the fountain going.
I didn't break that up. I didn't break
Or
that up.
whoever brought it up.
He's like, it wasn't me. Don't look at me. It
Don't
wasn't
blame
me.
I like
There's
the
the
idea.
Baz moment.
I do like the
Right
idea of instead of having runes or masteries or anything that you spend, you get it free at the beginning. You maybe even just have everybody gets a little stat page that they can mess with, and they can just make like 5 or 6 different types. It's like, you know, an AD stat page, a magic user stat page, and so you
Right.
join the game, you select your god, and then you select your stat page, and that's it. Simple, easy, already done, and then it makes it more intuitive and cloak and dagger style with the whole, well, what stats did he get? I mean, you know, he's kicking my ass in the lane, so maybe he got physical pen and armor or something like that, or he's really tanky as hell, so
Crit's going to be OP in this system.
well, if
I
they
mean-
tone it down properly, it won't be.
If it's
Well,
1%,
yeah, because,
it's still
you know,
20.
You have the whole
What?
countering items and that kind of stuff. I mean, that's kind of what a MOBA is. And in general, you got to counter your enemies' items, counter enemies' picks and whatnot.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing like competitive stuff. I mean, with the whole stat system, it's like, okay, you can't really counter anything. It's just kind of there. Like,
Well, now though, because you can't really. I mean, you can if you go like defensive tree versus an offensive tree, and I'm only comparing it to the system we're trying to implement, League of Legends. You're not really trying to counter the other person's masteries. So right now, the stats are giving you so low of a bonus that you don't really need to counter them. You're trying to counter the items. Before, when stats were first implemented, it was like, oh my god, these are stupid. Like, this guy has so much crit and I can't see that, so now I need to know how to counter him. Now it's he's getting a little bit of lifesteal every level, but it's so minuscule that it's not a huge problem. Like I know I have to build armor. It's just a common fact.
Well, I mean, right, and that's why I just like to see them kind of remove the whole stats from the fountain purchase area anyway, and just kind of go, okay, set stats before game, and then just kind of leave it that way. Because I mean, if they really want the stats in this game, I don't know why the game was fine without them in the first place. But if they really want it, they really need to go down the League of Legends route. And I hate saying that because I'm not a big League of Legends fan. But I mean, it's just like it's too much for players just in general. I mean, in all levels of play to kind of go, okay, I got to click this.
It's too much in the game right then. It would be great before the game because it would be one of those things that adds something to do outside of the game when you're waiting for a game. Like there's right now in Smite, there's literally nothing to do when you're waiting for a game. Like you go and play Minecraft or play something else because you're just waiting.
Play Pokemon emulators.
Right, you just stare at the screen because there's nothing to do. But if you had stats outside of the game that you could make pages for and then implement, then while you're waiting for a game, you could just be sitting there reading all about your stats and being like, what does this do?
I'm gonna go on a different thing. I'm gonna disagree with you on this because
no, you're not.
Yes, I am. Absolutely, watch me. So once the stats are in there and it's a regular system, after about 3 or 4 weeks, people are going to know what they want to choose.
Yeah, they will.
It's not going to take all that much time.
No.
And as long as they give it a better UI change, then it's not going to take all that much more time. Especially if they give it like key presses or stuff like that.
Hotkey, maybe
hotkeys, you know.
F6
There's
through
enough
F12.
hotkeys to remember in Smite as is. I mean, come on, the voice in-game system.
Oh my
I
God.
still don't even remember half the commands in that stupid crap.
I remember
I love that system though.
I used
Just
like
hit
3.
V and then press a bunch of buttons and see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, yeah, but you know, I don't know. I
Although
don't agree with that at all, but whatever.
I do like the people who know the VVG system so well that they can have fucking conversations. It's great. You just got like, oh, good job. Thanks. You're doing awesome yourself. Oh, well, thank you very much. You have a very nice tie there, sir. Awesome. You know, it's like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I think the stats are finally kind of balancing out, which is good because that was a really big concern. And the next topic I want to go into is...
wait,
we got Alakite first. What do you got?
Okay. Well, kind of got what you guys were saying earlier. I think it was 2 years ago at PAX. League had this big seminar, and it was really cool. It just had to do with designing. It had nothing to do with balance, but it just had to do with designing and, you know, what they were going for.
Mm.
And a lot of it was really good stuff. Like, they were talking about how, you know, they want everything really well visually communicated. You know, if you look at a lot of what their champions do in the game, you know, when a champion's jumping on you and using this skill, sure, you may not know what the skill is, but, you know, you can see something is being done. It's very well visually communicating. And, you know, they went over a whole bunch of other design things about how they wanted every play to have, you know, some sort of counterplay, or, you know, that it's not so linear. You know, you jump on them and then you use this skill. Okay, you know, they want you to have, you can use your 1, 2, 3, or you can use your 2, 3, 1, or, you know, all these other options. And it was this really good seminar. And I think that's, you know, kind of what the stat system is basically against everything they were saying there. You know, it's not visually communicated. There's no counterplay to it. It's linear. There's not much to do with it. It's just, you know, bad design perspective, in my opinion, disregarding all balance with it.
Well, I mean, that's also another good point. It's like the game's not really balanced to begin with, so why are they implementing a new system when they can't really balance the current system as is?
Because it gives it depth, and it needs depth.
But the game technically
really
already
depth?
has depth.
It's something.
Does it need depth through the stats though, or does it need depth through?
I don't know if it
team
needs depth through
players and team
stats,
strategy,
but it needs depth. Right now, I think that's one of the things this game lacks is depth.
The reason there's no depth is because all the gods can do filth and everything. They don't know how to make one god utility, one god tank, one god support, one god whatever. It's just, hey, everyone can just throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at people.
Yeah, I agree there. And that's been bothering me a lot more. I feel like a lot of the gods can just do everything, and thus you lose kind of depth in that aspect. You lose your role. You lose your sense of role. You lose your sense of excitement for your character's purpose.
You lose the RPG factor of this. Hi-Rock, what do you think about that? I mean, you play on the very top tier. What do you think about, can every god pull off any role? Is that really a
No,
problem?
I wouldn't say that, but I will agree to an extent that certain gods can do
more than they should.
Can fit a lot of roles really well. Like Sobek, for example, can be like a carry, a tank, and a support early on. It's Andy Mir having, like, he's got a lot of damage and a lot of fucking
Ymir needs more buffs, let me tell you.
Yeah.
They need
But
to
it's
keep buffing. He's not top tier yet.
Yeah.
And at the moment, the way they're steering right now is that bruises, or whatever you want to call them, are really, really strong. Because tank items are really efficient at the moment.
They have increased the prices of tank items, or at least they said they did. I don't know if they actually did in that patch or not, but
yeah, they have.
Yeah, well, it's all items. So.
Well, beforehand they were increasing items that had focus on it. They increased the price, and they all happen to be all the tank items.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, they're all getting an increase. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with the item increase at all. It's just like, okay, they were already expensive to begin with. Why drag the game on longer than it needs to be? I mean, Smite's one of those games where you can play for 30 minutes and get some really good, fun enjoyment out of it. It's like, I don't want a Dota 4-hour game. Nice.
I agree with that one.
Fun. Yeah.
All right, Baz, you made Cooper leave. We must get on to other callers.
So just want to throw in spec mode with the up and down. So excited about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I agree.
So
Happy New Year, guys. Bye.
Happy
Thanks,
New Year,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah, I'd also like to, or I just want to bring up that the My Revenge tournament, what is it, the monthly invitational thing, is tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST.
Ooh.
I don't know who. I know Smite Cast will be casting it. I think it's Siori is going to be casting it. Maybe some other people if we get them. I don't think you will be, Lionheart, will you? Because you're at work.
No, and I mean,
2 o'clock.
I want to stay. Look, I'll stay as political about this as I can. I'm gonna tell you, I'm really strongly opinionated on this topic. I wish that it wasn't tomorrow in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's a weird time.
Another cup Saturday morning. I don't understand the logic behind the scheduling. It's extremely forced. I'm very frustrated about it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
The players, the teams aren't going to want to play again on Saturday.
No, I don't understand this at all. I don't understand the logic behind this. I think that it's. I mean, I know it's attempted to kind of deal with the fact that we had the holidays and the New Year and all of that. But I mean, if you run a business or anybody, I just feel like you just have to know that in December and January, if you do a monthly thing, those 2 months become the same month. It's just one really, really long month. You don't try to do a full monthly thing both of those months. It never works. And they're trying to do it, and it's very crammed, and it's very frustrating, at least from my perspective. But
Yeah, but it is weird. I didn't even know it was tomorrow until someone contacted me. It's like, it's tomorrow. I'm like, wait, I thought it was on Saturday. Would have made sense, but
So
guess not.
the
So-
My
Yeah, but it would have made sense.
so explain it just very simply right now. The My Revenge tournament is being held tomorrow afternoon.
so there's 2 tournaments this weekend for My Revenge.
Okay.
There's the My Revenge Invitational Tournament. That's tomorrow. That's 2 p.m. Right in the middle of your regular Smite game broadcasting, in the middle of the school day, in the middle of the work day.
Yeah.
That's like the main tournament that people want to see. They put it at the hard to watch time. Then
all the teams
Saturday,
available.
you have
Yeah, I
the
was thinking
My
the same thing.
Revenge regular monthly or weekly cup that they do.
yeah.
And that's Saturday, and that'll be the first cup for this month. So basically, what they're trying to do is they don't want to get behind schedule for this month, so they're just forcing 2 events on one
I see what
weekend.
they're doing.
It's
They're
basically-
finishing
it'd
off
be
December.
like if IPL did its championship one weekend and then immediately did the qualifiers the next day.
That's,
So who's filling in for like Sturmies and other people who are at school tomorrow?
Is Sturmy? I don't know how.
I don't know.
I don't
Sturmy's
think
at
most
school
of the
tomorrow.
college kids are back to school yet.
Yeah,
I know that all-
Sturmy's not a college kid.
Yeah,
He's not?
high school.
You know what?
I thought he
You
was-
know what though? They probably should have thought about it. Like, because what if they were? You know,
Well,
I mean,
because you have to remember they are EU, so they're doing it on EU time.
They're doing
so
it
it's not
7
too
p.m.
late
roughly.
for the EU people, but it's not too early for us.
They should have just taken all the prizes and doubled the prizes for the next monthly tournament and made a bigger event out of that one.
Maybe. I think it'd have just been better to...
Or they could have done
just
it
do
next
the
weekend.
Saturday, Sunday. I mean, if you really had to do it all in one week, do Saturday as the championship. It gives you plenty of time to set up and have a good show. And then Sunday will be like, if you want to continue watching more games, we're going to start the next tournament. We're just going to start it tomorrow. You know, we're going to get an early start on it this month so we can keep it up like normal.
Yeah.
Although
then-
I think they should have just they should have just done the championships and made a huge deal out of it. Been like, this is the championships, it's this weekend, and then done this week's tournament. Do that one this week, or do it during the week some odd time. Let the finals, the one that's going to be the big production, be a big production on Saturday when everybody in the world can make some time to watch it versus having to deal with school.
Especially, that one has a bigger prize, so you would think that would be the one on the weekend.
Yeah,
I mean, it's such an easy decision in my mind. Like like you, at some point, look, you're not catching up unless you do this kind of forced scrunchy thing. So don't do the forced scrunchy. Just very simply have the big tournament this weekend, and then do January's big tournament at the beginning of February, and then take a couple weeks off and let players relax. It's not the end of the world if your website isn't doing a major tournament, every single week. I think people will survive.
I mean, it's a problem for everyone, right now. Casters are having a problem. Like I said, Ciore, I think, is going to be the only one that's there tomorrow.
Maybe I can cast it blind.
I mean, players, Sturmies, I don't know if he'll be able to be there. Some other players might have problems.
He's EU.
There will be, like, no viewers.
No, not Sturmies.
I don't know.
Sorry.
It's just weird.
So, all right, well, we want to let our caller here, Keymaker, throw in his input.
What do you got for us, Keymaker?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good, and we can hear you well.
Awesome. So yeah, sorry, but I'm going to drag you guys back to the stats, though.
That's all right.
All right, yeah, but I mean, I kind of saw that today, and I was like, what are you guys doing? You're making it into an MMORPG. But yeah, but I don't really like it so much, just because I felt like if they were going to make stats work properly, it would have to be kind of a better means of building, if you know what I mean. Like, when you first start the game, you're using, like, auto-buy, and, like, you don't know what you're doing until you learn it. And, like, you figure that out, and you slowly advance to actually buying your own items, stuff like that. And then, like, once you start to actually really know what's going on, you can really know all the items, what all the stats do. You can kind of augment your regular build with those stats. Right. So that, like, whatchamacallit, if, I don't know, like, your regular build isn't really going the way you want it to, you're like, oh, hey, I just need a little bit more pen, buy that. But the problem is, though, with the way they're doing now, someone was saying in the forum post, it's like, oh, you're just getting all these free stuff, and, like, you're kind of being forced into it as a completely new player, which is going to really confuse people, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point.
It's forcing them to make a snap decision.
Yes.
It's because you're going to be like, holy crap, I'm level 5, and oh my god, I got 5 stat points I have to spend? What? I'm going damage attack. Do that.
Mm-hmm. But wouldn't it be easier for a new player now? Because you always, whether they cost gold or not, you always had that rush decision. Because a new player's not going to know that stats aren't as beneficial as buying items outright. So now I think it's a lot better for a new player because they're not spending the gold. Like they're learning that, gold. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not.
It's not going to be.
I don't think it's confusing for the new player as much as it is. They're either going to accept it or
not
complain about it or dislike it or whatever. But in the long run, the new player, I think, is going to have a complication. They're just going to see, but I also got to buy this, or upgrade this. That's it.
Yeah,
they'll search like terms. How do I build this? Like, I go all crit. Oh, that was easy.
Yeah, it actually is probably going to be more of a hassle for the players who have been playing for a long time because we're used to just going back and buying items and running out. And now you've got to do that and go through the stats again. And so you're making all of the players who are used to the items take a step back and have to read crap again. And so that can frustrate people too. That's probably why there's a lot of complaining.
He mentioned the RPG aspect of it. Like, a lot of people, I think I've seen that, is they saw it and they go, oh, they're turning this into an RPG. What's going on?
Hey, fat loot for everyone.
What is that?
Fat loots for everyone.
Oh, fat loots. Well,
Come on, guys,
when League of Legends was designing this, when they were designing their game, kind of looking at it, they go, oh, people like progression. People like these RPGs. They like progression. Let's put progression into the game. Except for, I think League of Legends really looked at it and said, but not in the middle of their game where they're trying to think about 10 other things at the same time.
Right.
So they threw that progression, they threw out that extra stat stuff onto the outside of their game, where you just do it beforehand, and people had this nice little treat. They felt like it was a little bit deeper, and they got their little progression scene into it all. That some people like the grind, and they get their little rewards as they level up and things. But they threw it outside the game in order to eliminate that from having to be a thinking process of convoluting, complicating things while you're playing.
Yeah.
And they left it still to the basic system in game, so that you could enjoy that, and you could focus on your item purchases.
So, I guess hi-rez, do you agree with which would you be your dream stats? Would it be before, where you get to choose them and then just implement them like a rune page, but they're all free? It's not like level 30s have more than level 15s, or would you prefer to do the stats as they are now, where you just level up each time you're in the game,
or gone completely?
It's a tough choice, but as an old League nerd, I like the room pages and the mastery pages, but I don't really see how it fits in a game as SMITE.
Well, masteries has been proven bad a lot, though. Haven't masteries been reworked like 10 times?
Yeah. I know they got reworked at least once while I was playing.
But let's be honest. They do massive reworks every season. They don't rework in the middle of the season. So masters get reworked every season, but so do almost every item in the game. So that's just part of their business model of keeping the game fresh. Doesn't really have to do with balance.
Yeah, because if it was the same every season, it's not as fun.
Yeah.
So let's get our stats. Our stat system's going to be reworked. It's free this time, but next season it's going to cost some.
It's free this time. Next time we're going to make you pay, and after that we're going to make you pay more.
And after that, we actually pay you to take them. What's going on here?
If you upgrade the stat, you get extra 500 gold to spend.
I think
honestly, I'm really scared about this stat changes, especially if they're gonna make them free, especially with all the execution changes. Like, we 0.7 penetration. If they're gonna do something like that with the stats as well, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I'm really amazed that they did that, managed to do that at all.
Yeah, with the stat system, like I've talked to a lot of people about how it works and how you could balance it, because some stats are inherently just substantially better than others at any one given point, would be to remove some of them.
Yeah, don't offer all 17
don't offer all
for like
of them.
5 or 6 of them.
Like a good example would be crit. Like even if you only got 1% crit per level, that's still 20% crit for free. I mean,
get rid of crit, get rid of lifesteal, get rid of LP5, HP5.
So you boost like armor, health, damage, and like kind of like your main 5.
Yeah, armor, health, damage, and penetration, or maybe speed. Speed would be cool
speed
too.
would probably be good.
Penetration. Just damage, health, armor.
Yeah, I mean that's another option they can
reduction.
go, because or they could add another thing like CC reduction.
That's my argument back in the day was if you
it eliminates items. The passives on items have the CC reduction. Now they lose their benefit. They lose their purpose, their importance.
Or you just get that much more CC reduction.
Yeah, my main thing when I was saying if you're going to get them for free as you go, it would be gooder. What the? It would be better to.
One more time there.
Gooder, dude.
Yeah, dude. Gooder. Would be to trim them down to like 5 to 7 stats, so that way it's not. Let me look at this list and pick the one that I want, and not to mention. Do I have to pick the one? I have to find the one in these very small texts.
Yeah.
Which can be very annoying.
Some of those stats are just so useless, anyways. With the values that they reduced to now, they might as well just be removed.
Yeah. So I mean, if you were to have it cut down to 5 to 7, then it makes it very easy to level up when you go back. It's just It would be best actually to put a menu like in the items menu. You just kind of scoot it down a little bit, and then put your 5 or 7 stats that you want to level up. So you buy your items, hit up, and that's it. You're done. Anybody think that like that idea? Where it's automatically, like, you don't have to click on another tab. It's just, you have all your stats that you can increase right at the top, and you can see what they're at right now before you buy your items. You can see what this stat's at and that stat's at, and you just buy your item and then click up, and you're done.
Let's just do radials. You push a button, there's a radial there. You click plus extra damage and move on.
All right, well, Keymaker, do you have anything else you would like to say?
Are you good?
Not really. I'm just that it should be interesting, if anything, to test it out when it comes out.
Yeah,
I agree.
I completely agree.
That's why we're playing this game, because we like to test.
Yes. That's why we play beta, because we play beta.
So much beta.
Yeah.
So much beta.
Well, thank you very much for your call, sir. We will be getting on to
Thanks
our
for
other
having
ones.
me.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
We do have
Yes.
confirmation that Sturmies will not be available
Yeah.
for tomorrow's game.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. Ooh, that's not good.
That's a shame.
That
And
is terrible.
Spray, if you would like to
I
call
mean,
us up
just
on
another
perfect
reason
dot
why I
rain.
should have been scheduled Saturday.
Oh my God, is this Spray on the
crap.
phone?
When did they announce that it was going to be tomorrow? Did they announce that just like yesterday
A
or
week
something?
ago. It's been up for a week.
Oh, well, I didn't. I guess I looked at it and just figured it would be on a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
did the same
I
thing.
looked at it and didn't realize what it said either because they wrote it in that crazy EU time where the day before the month. So people were like, "Oh, this is it for months."
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's like they use like CET+1 or something. I couldn't even find it on the internet, to be quite honest. I was
Because
like,
CET plus 1, they do daylight savings time there,
So
but
everyone thought it
not
was
everywhere.
April 1st.
So
It was April Fool's. It was an April Fool's tournament, is what everybody thought.
Yes. Yes, it was. So,
Yeah, I need to get going, so I'll leave you guys to that. You know, it was fun being on the show.
okay.
All right.
Later, dude.
Later.
I
All right.
have to go.
What do you got for us, sir?
Because I usually get cut off, and I'm like, I need to go. Oh, no, I got to talk more. And then I'm like, oh, okay.
Do you have to go to sleep or something?
No,
Bedtime. Is it bedtime for you?
Yeah, is it bedtime?
Oh my gosh. Oh, totally.
Good night.
Get the warm.
Good
milk.
night, young man. Have a good night.
Oh, okay, night, daddy.
That's right.
Did you just
Yeah.
say
You
that?
heard it here first. Later,
You
guys.
said you're old enough to
Daddy.
I'm
Okay, see
Sturmy's
you
dad
guys.
and Alakite's dad.
Yeah.
Soon I'll be the
Oh,
father of the
yeah.
entire
So
BLGNA team.
Go smoke some pot in Colorado where it's actually legal. Cough,
Nice.
cough.
Hell
You
yeah.
guys see you guys.
Hey, if it's
still
legal, it
legal
can't be
eventually.
that bad, right?
Right. All right, go away,
Yeah.
Alakite. Quit
See you
stalling.
guys.
I have a question
What?
or a new topic. Do we have another caller?
Yes, we
Yes.
do.
All right, take him.
Spray yarn.
Yes.
Yes.
My question will be, what is your guys' opinion on celerity boots?
Celerity
Are they
boots.
overpowered, balanced, or underpowered?
Boots of celerity.
Boots of celerity.
Yes.
They currently give lots of speed, focus, and cooldown reduction.
Cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I think they're awesome, personally, because they give lots of speed, focus, and cooldown reduction. But
After seeing them a lot and playing with them a lot, I think the item itself is balanced, but there's just the items that these bruisers and tanks are buying all combined together is just a lot at the moment. So I think alone the item is I don't think it's too bad of an item balance wise, but
Yeah.
it's just combined with everything. And getting it that early on, it's a lot.
yeah, I agree. Because a lot of time, say if you get it on a magic caster, cooldown reduction at the beginning of the game might not be the best thing for your mana pool. If you don't have something
That's very
else.
true.
So
I can cast it 3 seconds earlier, but I don't have any mana.
yeah,
Fantabulous.
yeah, it can cut both ways. But I think it's a really great item, like just for pretty much everyone. But
So are you calling it overpowered? Is that what you're saying?
no, it's a great item.
Uh-huh. I don't believe you. Hyrak, what do you think, since you are a
I think
resident?
I think it's cheap.
Yeah,
Think
it
it's
is
cheap?
too
That's my
cheap, I
opinion.
think. Yeah,
Like,
So-
it gives so much cooldown reduction and that amount of speed.
yeah, 15%. Crazy.
I will say that it is kind of frustrating being that guy who is chasing that Ra who already has... He's running around like
Yeah.
Speedy Gonzalez, flying everywhere, and then he pops Sprint, and it's like, goodbye. I mean, the Sprint is just warp speed for him, because he's just like... Whoosh.
I put it on my Hebo, and you can fly across the map pretty well for that too.
Yeah.
Just throw down a little waterway with those boots and just fly on up. Use life steal items to take your health back and then run away.
Yeah,
It was definitely a guerrilla tactic item, I guess would be the way of putting it.
it's a great item. I mean,
It could be a great item for Loki if you
I-
could actually assassinate somebody.
I think the cooldown reduction on it is a bit high, just because equal other items that have a high cooldown reduction like that are very expensive, and that's like a major stat for it. Where on those boots, it seems to be like, okay, cool, we'll get this and this. Oh, hey, let's give you this too. That's how it feels for me as far as cost-wise. So,
Yeah.
that's my opinion on that. Do you have any other questions? Oh, go for it,
Never
hi-rez.
mind. It's not important.
No, whatever you have to say
Okay.
is definitely important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, it's just to show how much I think they're good. Is that I pretty much buy them every god I play.
Ah.
There's only one god where I don't pick him up, and that's Arachne, where I pick up Warrior Tabai.
I can see that.
So you even get 'em- do you play bruisers at all? Like you would even get them on
Yeah,
bruisers?
Hell yeah.
I play everything, but I usually play bruisers. Like I play a lot of Guan Yu,
Really?
and
So you would recommend Boots of
Yeah.
Celerity on a Guan Yu, not versus over reinforced boots?
oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're much better.
Cooldown
Interesting.
reduction on that heal.
So okay, because
Actually,
I've
it's
been
main stat.
Yeah.
because I've been trying to learn to play Guan Yu as best as I can. What would your optimal build be for Guan Yu right now, like in the current patch?
Oh, right now I would definitely say go first with. Even though it's really expensive, I really like Mystical Mark. Straight into like celerity boots.
Mhm.
If you want to
Full-
go damage,
You had to go
Void
full
Stone.
celerity boots too, right? You not just level 2, but all the way.
No, all the way.
No, just all the way.
All
All
the
the
way.
way. Like they're too good all the way.
Yeah.
And like get an early meditation because he really uses a lot of mana.
Yes, he does.
And then just Void Stone, and from there on, if it's going good for you, I usually go for Rada Tahudi because his damage is insane at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Or you can go for the more tanky approach, but that's the general thing.
Nice.
And if
Okay.
you, like Bulwark of Hope is also a really amazing item
Yeah,
at
it
the
is.
moment.
Interesting. So what do you think of the change with Mystical Mark where they changed it from 30 true damage to the 40
Oh, I prefer it.
magical?
Yeah.
You like
I
that
agree.
better?
True damage was over the top.
Yeah,
Okay.
True damage was over the top, and if you have penetration, it's a little bit better for creeps and minions.
Do you start off with
And-
a Vanguard, Mark of the Vanguard?
It depends. If I'm playing against another Guan Yu, definitely, because it negates so much of his Tal'Dorei assault. And other gods like that, like Ares, also gets fucked over by it. So
Okay.
Yeah,
at least
because
his
of-
flame.
Yeah.
So you'd likely start off with the Mark of the Vanguard, then build your boots or your Mystical Mark first.
The Mystical Mark, I don't feel like I need speed early on because
Okay.
I can't jungle efficiently. I can't really gank that efficiently until I'm level 5.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
that's very true. Okay. Very, very interesting. Thank you. I'll have
Yeah.
to try that
And
out.
he's a good player, so he doesn't die.
Right. I mean,
And he,
like,
and he doesn't
see,
get out of position.
one of the
Oh,
things.
I do die. I do die at stupid times.
No,
I
no,
will
he
admit.
doesn't. You
Yeah.
Quit,
No,
quit
you
selling
don't.
yourself
No,
short.
yeah,
See, like I've been playing.
We
when-
watch you. It's okay.
When I play a AD carry or something like that, and I'm playing with like Sturmies or whatever, I'm saying, "So Sturmies, what should I build on this?" He's like, "Well, I don't trust you not to die. Buy an Executioner, not a Heart Seeker." Thanks. You're so supportive.
Hey, at least he's right.
So Spray On, did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you would like to say? Is there any threads you would like to troll right now, or do you want to go on Reddit and start something?
Yeah, do you want to start something? Huh?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, I mean, we
Wait.
we can do it with
We're not
Reddit.
talking to Yoli.
Wait,
Well, we always
does
talk about Lily.
this mean Yuli takes the Reddit King Troll title over Spray On due to that thread?
Yeah, I think so actually.
You do?
Yeah.
Even it comes from the Spray On himself. Wow.
Yep.
So Spray, you're
He
definitely
made-
going to have to step it up there on the Reddit trolling.
Yeah, he's Reddit queen now.
You're the
That's
Reddit
true.
queen. Congratulations. While Yuli is the Reddit king. Brilliant. All right. Well, thank you very much for your call.
No problem.
Have a good one, man.
Later, man.
Cooper, what do you got for us?
Wait, he wants to
All
say
right.
stuff?
Oh,
Yeah? Oh.
I figured because it's getting kind of down to the wire, and this is pretty much only directed towards Kennedy and Lionheart because they can spec so many games and their casters. Who do you think's gonna, based on non-bias, but based off strategies and everything else, and even though hi-rez here, try and still give an opinion, who do you think's gonna win Woggle? Like, or even the BM bipolar method / juice match, because that's a match that's going directly into the finals, whoever wins that game. So, I mean, basing off strategies and everything, who do you think's going to win that?
Go for it, Kennedy.
Juice guys, they're new players, so I mean, it changes how they've been playing. I didn't get to see. I didn't get to watch their whole game the other day. Are they still just as aggressive as they've been early game?
Oh my God, they're so much more aggressive.
Are you kidding?
More
They
aggressive.
have Maddie and
Maddie and
They
Lassie.
can
I
pull
mean,
it off.
yeah.
they got
Pull
Lassie
it
playing right lane with Allied, and the aggressiveness is just unrelenting. It's like every there's a wave. Lassie's going in after you for some reason.
Yeah.
So most of the time when I feel like I've watched Juice, it all depends on if they've pulled off the aggressive gameplay early on.
Yeah.
If they manage to, then they're able to maintain their game. But if they get stopped in that early game, then they fall behind.
Interesting. Yeah, and definitely, I think Bipolar Method has a very good chance at that because they're very good at stopping a very aggressive play. It's you guys. Can you agree with this, Hierarchy? You guys can play very passive and basically almost like a wall. It's like you're not going to kill us, but we're not going to go forward. But you're definitely not feeding off of us. We'll be right here, and you will just have to deal with that.
I still remember that one game we had where we couldn't engage because if we engaged on him, we would just die. Like that Ares combo is just scary. So we just got the title of like EU is just passive.
Yeah.
Like EU only plays passive. It's like okay, I'm sorry.
Well, if you won that game, then I mean that's all that counts.
Yeah.
I
All
can't
that matters.
even remember. But
Jeez, what kind of memory do you have?
The gameplay memory.
oh, it's
gameplay.
poor. It's poor.
Yeah, join the club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course. Memory.
Of poor, yeah, and memory.
Yeah.
All that.
It's months ago. So
So, would you guys?
What do you think, Lionheart?
Go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, this is like, this is an awkward question to ask when we have a member of Bipolar Method here. We don't have a member of Juice here. Okay, so that just makes it awkward right off the bat.
Congratulations.
But
just
B,
say it.
I actually don't really know, to be honest. I mean, my initial idea would be that Bipolar Method has more time certainly playing together as a team. They've practiced strats. They have team synergy. But then at the same time, I mean, Juice showed how quickly they were able to get their act together when they were playing the one game that they didn't get DDoS against Procore Gaming. I know that they've been watching footage together of games. I know that they've been seriously discussing strats and setting up very structured team time within the entire time since Lazis and Maddie have joined. So I mean, they're not taking this lightly. I mean, they're going pretty hard as far as getting ready for these tournaments, and they have the talent. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. I think it's anybody's game. I don't think if you think that you know who the clear winner is going to be right now, I think you're mistaken because I don't think anybody could call it. It's just going to come down to the match, and we'll see what happens.
I think the bigger question is what stat system and patch version will we be on come the finals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long is it until the finals, Cooper?
Probably around the first week of February.
Jesus.
If I can push everything right.
Talk about a long time.
Because it depends on the team, how long is the team schedule, because you still have the loser brackets. But would you guys say that this is the closest tournament so far? As in, like, competitive-wise?
It's been the most annoying and awkward, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like,
but I mean, like,
I cannot follow it
once
for the life of me.
Once the team won a round, you could kind of say, like, oh, they're gonna kind of come away
Well,
with it now.
Yeah,
you can't
it's
really
certainly
say it
the
about the tournament because there's been so many roster changes since the tournament started. Like, when the tournament started, the rosters were almost completely different from what they are now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
some
think
teams
they
didn't
are
even
completely
exist.
Different. Yeah.
And so it's just really hard to judge that because it's like
Well, it
I'd
shows
like
you
to know how much practice these teams are going to put in now for these final parts. I mean, a lot. We've seen games between these teams and stuff where one team happens to dominate it for this weekend and stuff, and then one team dominates the next weekend, and it's gone back and forth, and you have every once in a while a really close game, and and a lot of times it's where the team members were synergized or not during that time. I mean, this past match, you had a couple players from Procore who hadn't played for a week or so.
Yeah.
And they hadn't played with their team. So it's going to depend on who's going to possibly put it in the effort here to get that extra practice in and study the new meta, whatever pops up here in these patches, I guess.
Yeah.
And how much is that going to change their gameplay? And I mean, I hate to say it, whoever comes out with their game face come game day is going to be more prepared. But I mean, that's the real sports.
It sounds like you're the announcer before the Super Bowl. Whoever comes wanting to win the most is going to win. That's
right.
They both want to win.
No, this is a great thing. This is the fact that all these teams are so close in talent and skill that it's just whoever puts in the most practice time is really what it comes down to. It's, if Juice just stops playing for a week and Bipolar Method spends all of this week grinding it out, I would guarantee you that Bipolar would just roll Juice. But it just depends on who can get in all the practice time and stuff like that, which is just great because it shows you that there's not
server.
It shows that there's not a purely Juice is just going to dominate because that's just them. I mean, it doesn't matter how much practice time he goes into it, which means all you other teams out there that want to try, practice, and you can do it. It's not, it's not just simply, it's the names that are going to win. It's the talent. And you, too, can have the talent. There's your pep talk. Now go with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, some of the tournaments are going through pretty good prizes, and they're only getting better, so...
Yes.
And there are some teams that are remaking,
So, Cooper, when Hi-Rock mentioned server, what are you guys going to do to deal with being on EU or NA servers? I mean, there's not really a whole lot you can control with that.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Can't. I mean, you can't. It's got to be. There's always been the rule that if both teams agree to remake, that you can.
Yeah.
But. I mean, either way, there's going to be a server difference. So
yeah, I think
hi-rez create oceanic servers, and you make them both play on that.
what would be the best way I would see would be to, of course, New York servers, but to start the game, everybody checks their ping before you get out there, and make sure that nobody's obscenely high, like 400 or anything like that. And then say, it's an EU server, so all the American guys are at 150 and the EU is at 60. Then the next game you do, try and get it to flip. Like, when you start the game, if it's still the same, remake it. See if you can get it to flip one time. And if it does, then success. If not, I mean, that's just the thought.
Well, you can select your preferred server,
this
right?
Is true.
So if everyone
yeah.
has the preferred server selected when they create the match.
Yeah, so do the first game as preferred server North America, and then the second game preferred server Europe. And then the third game, do a coin toss. And, pick the preferred server. And it's that's as close as we can get to, fairness where it comes to servers.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if I could be completely off. I don't know if they actually fixed it, but I know that there were times where even the preferred server, you'd have 10 EU players and they'd still get on an NA server. So it all depends on how that system's working. I don't know if they fixed that, but I mean, it's kind of the same thing as any tournament that's up now, including them. I don't know how the My Revenge ones handle it, but I mean, I think it's just because there's a bigger prize pool on the line. It's a bigger deal.
Yeah, I mean, you want to make it as fair as possible. But, I like Spoo's suggestion, which is a best of 3 on both servers. Just do there's a best of 3 on EU and then a best of 3 on North America. Although
that's 6 games.
That still leads to possibly a tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a best of 6.
Yeah, best of 3. Well, you're both 1-1, so we've got to play one game more. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. That's kind of the problem with having to play an odd number of games is somebody's gonna have that odd server advantage. It's just a matter of who and why.
I feel like I've seen a lot more EU players maybe in ranked, I guess. I keep getting put into the EU servers on ranked, I feel like.
What are your average pings when you're playing on the EU server?
150, 160.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. Because I play 90% of any games that I can play, I play in the mornings. I'm always on the EU servers because they're the people that are playing. So I've become accustomed to it, and I will say I'm pretty used to it. When I get those games where I have 46 ping because it's actually North American server, I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome! I can land everything! But that's why I like playing Guan Yu on the European servers. He's not too...
ping-worthy, yeah.
He's not too ping-dependent.
Yeah. So hopefully... All right, go for it, Kennedy.
The biggest issue with the ping thing I feel like I've noticed is which command the server receives first with abilities that can cancel each other out.
Like stuns and such?
stuns and things, or if you happen to you both launch an attack but he kills you first, your ability cancels if it never happened, if it didn't reach there in time. At times like that, so
that's where it's getting all into the technical jargon of it, and it's just annoying.
Yeah. That's
so
just
anyway,
something we have. I mean, that's online games.
Yeah, we just have to deal with it.
Yeah, that is what it is. So I thought I'd go ahead and give you guys a teaser. The BLGNA team is almost done, and we have some really, really great players for it. Some very high elo, high roster guys. So
nice.
I'm all a fan of that. Looking at the, I don't want to give away the roster just yet because there's a few parts that are still changing. People still figuring out what lanes they want to play, but their practices, they look really good. So
yes, they do. Very pleased.
Watch out, bipolar method.
Yes.
We'll do our best.
We're gunning for you. All right. Who wants to do a giveaway? I do. Cooper, did you want to also do a giveaway?
Not really, but I will.
Okay, fine. Then don't. Screw you.
I'll do it.
You hate the viewers.
Right.
Go away. Get out of here. So
All right,
I guess
what do I want?
we'll wrap it up. I'm going to give away 400.
This to be hashtag
pound Sturmey's bacon.
No, that was last week.
Actually,
yeah, that was last time.
I've seen Toot twice in, so I'm put hashtag Toot is best.
Priceless.
Who was the guy that said Toot was the best Anubis? Crap, just kidding. I know the answer to that question. You don't, maybe.
So if BLGNA, if it sounds so good, who's going to pick them up next? Who's going to take them away from you?
See,
why you got to go there?
Why you gotta go like steal it?
This time like a smart team.
Oh, some
Out. Hurts.
I'm kidding.
No, depending on the team and all that, you know. What are you doing?
some people don't understand. You have to type in Toot is best with the hashtag in front to be entered.
Okay, well then here's what I'll do, Coop, because I can't see shit. I'm putting the key in the chat, so give that key away. Our
All
chat.
Oh, you have a key.
Yes, I have a 400
See,
gem key.
That saves me resources.
Those resources.
That's coming from me, not you, just to make this clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
important.
we'll get these shout-outs through while Cooper does that.
Yeah.
So, Lionheart, would you like to go first since you are
Lionheart?
Oh, shoutouts.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to thank all the teams who keep working together, keep trying to make SMITE better as far as competitive goes. Thanks to hi-rez for developing and working hard on the game. They do put a lot of resources into this. They've been doing a lot of stuff as far as regular patches, whether we agree with them or not. At least they're making changes, which I like. So shout outs to them for working hard, and the new site looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Shout outs to everybody who watches Beyond the Rift, and people who come in and hang out with me on stream when I play weird games that aren't SMITE sometimes.
Yeah, you do play some interesting ones.
Yeah.
Cool. High Rock, you go next.
I only have shoutouts to my team, and I agree with hi-rez are doing really good improvements. I'm actually glad with that. The game is much more fun now.
Yeah.
I have shoutouts to the viewers as well, and to my team member Yangbe. Of course, Yangbe City. Now he wanted me to say that. He really wanted me to say that. I'm sorry. And I have shoutouts to Sapman for being an awesome guy, and I love him.
Yes.
Awesome.
So,
Good guys up, man.
yeah.
All right, Kennedy, you go ahead.
I gotta give a shout out to whoever pushed for the website to finally actually come out, because you can finally send people to the site and they don't go, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
They can actually see things now and what's going on. It looks more actually like a game now than because before it looked like it just a beta site with nothing, like register now and wait for a year.
Yeah.
And then also I guess shout out to Game Breaker TV and stuff, and hopefully they're gonna start covering some SMITE sometime soon when they feel like it, maybe.
All right. A definite answer just as good as the one Lionheart gave earlier.
Nice.
That was good, Lionheart, by the way.
All right, Cooper.
Wait. What did I do? I spaced for a minute.
That wonderful answer when we asked you who do you think is going to win, You
Oh
went
my
on for
God,
like
dude.
4 or 5
So on
minutes.
the spot, dude. I have good relations with both teams. Like,
You went on for like 4 or 5 minutes,
I
said
think
good things
it's gonna
about
be a
both of them, and
tie,
said
guys,
nothing
and that's gonna
definite.
be-
It was really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you would be a great political candidate.
yeah. Lionheart #1 politics in there.
Yes.
Lionheart for president, 2,025.
Yeah, whenever you turn like 100.
2040.
On the fence.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right,
thank
cool.
you. Thank you for actually picking a real year where there's an election, because I obviously couldn't do it. Clearly, I care about my political aspect of my job so much.
Cooper, why are you popping pills?
Gum.
Uh-huh. Likely story.
It's the headache that he had after realizing that I didn't know when elections were.
It's the headache. It's just the headache he had after
That
Baz called.
dirty American unpatriot.
All right, Coop, who is our winner?
Oh, I'm doing
He's too
that.
busy chewing gum. He hasn't even done it yet. God.
I didn't even do my shout out.
Don't do your shout out and give it away.
Sure, make sure you
Um,
shout out to hi-rez, dude.
Yeah, shout out the
hi-rez, definitely. I support you guys fully. Thank you. It's an awesome game. Shout out to all you guys here in the stream, the viewers, BLG, Lionheart, Kennedy, High Rock. Keep playing the game. You're awesome. SMITE Network, new site coming up with tournaments. We're just waiting for all the balance changes to get out, so we'll have that up and running soon. And
Wait, you're waiting for balance changes, and you're gonna release it
we're waiting
soon?
for balance changes to like
Settle
stop
down.
every week. Yeah,
Yeah.
not stop.
You mean
settle
like
down.
new
Wait for
game
it
every
to
other week?
stabilize, is
Yeah,
what he said.
Yeah.
stabilization. We're looking for the patient not to be having a heart attack while we're trying to play. We would like them to have a regular heartbeat of changes here and there, not.
All right, so I just have to get Keymaker out of the giveaway because I'm an idiot. So. All right, so I'll roll the dice.
Poor Keymaker.
Roll the dice, baby.
Wow, Maldazor won.
Again?
A guy named again.
No,
What?
I don't know.
No.
Again? I don't know what.
Again?
Again?
All right,
How dare he.
So I will.
I've never won before. What do you
Maldasaur!
guys-
Woohoo!
I think he's a first time viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! Make sure you follow us.
Yeah.
He is following.
I'm good at
I
that.
know.
Yay.
Yeah, follow our stream.
Please remember you have to follow the channel in order to be available or
to be available.
Eligible. There we go. For giveaways. Eligible.
Eligible.
All right, Rebel,
I like
go
it.
with your
I like it.
shout-outs.
I like it.
I'll go
Thank you
last.
guys so much for watching. Thank you, hi-rez, for continuing to make this game better and more entertaining with a few hiccups along the way, which is perfectly okay because we all have to fail sometimes to win. So, failing, as long as you fail upwards, it's good.
Isn't that what you do in politics?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Need to get into that.
Yeah. Different conversation. Thank you, Demon, for having eye surgery today.
Thank
And,
you. You're welcome.
So you can see. Guys, check out bogaming.com. We follow news, SMITE. We do tournaments. Cooper's pointing at me.
I'm not a mod.
You're not?
Oh, okay, we're fixed. All right, we're good. Go ahead.
Well, that was fast. I'm not a mod. Click. Okay, done. Yep. So, yeah, thank you. Check out bogaming.com. Our guide system will be revamped once we
the patches
figure
slow down.
out what the game's going to look like.
That's one thing I do want to apologize. I mean, like, we built this guide system, and it was working great for quite a while, and then they went nuts with changes and patches and all this stuff, and I was like, for the first week, we tried to keep up, and then they still kept coming out that one after the other. I'm like, I give up.
It's like, our system doesn't
Screw it.
work with this.
This is just not going to work. So they're currently, like, all the databases and stuff are out there and stuff like that. We're going to be rolling it out soon once we get back to the couple patches a month, once a week, so like that. So that way guides will actually have a point, because at the moment, if somebody made a guide 2 days ago, it's already useless.
Yeah. So
And I already gave up trying to maintain my guide. It was so much work.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
because the game changed so much. So
now that the game is
My
hopefully
guide still tells you to get green buff, so good luck with that.
yeah.
It's hidden in that lane over there. That's actually.
Go on the outside lane.
Someone new to Smite's gonna read my guide, I'd be like, what is this guy talking about? Upgraded guide.
Has anybody tried to take Thor and teleport over into those outside lanes that are still there?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's
I heard
crazy.
you used to be able to jump to those lanes from the side. I think they patched that though.
That's
You used to
awesome.
be able to jump out of the map.
It's so crazy.
That's
Laziest.
All right,
word.
well, I'll give out my
Or-
shout out and then we'll go. Thank you all for joining us here, like all you guests. You guys, of course, are awesome. I love you guys being here because
And our
without
audience.
you, it would just be me and Revel, and people could only get so excited about that.
Oh, baby.
They really could. I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
that they
yeah.
could.
So excited.
We totally. We could
yeah.
hold this all. I mean, I carry the whole
Absolutely.
show. Like,
yeah. On
Anyway.
your back while you're blind.
Right, while I'm blind. I
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
I do give shout outs to my eye surgeon for not making me blind. That is very good.
Yep,
Like-
we're all happy about that.
Like that was very successful. My eyes itch like hell, and that's why I've been using these eye drops.
Mhm.
Other than that, please, of course, go to blgaming.com. I love the community. I love doing everything for the community. We try to be the first with the news, so I mean, you can check the site. We have an entire news gathering crew that's very slack sometimes, but an entire news gathering crew that their whole day is just, when they're not actually playing the game, they're just trolling the forums looking for interesting things to post. So if you want to find the best place to find your news, we have it there. If it's not up that second, it'll be up a few seconds later.
Check on our main page, and up on the top right, you'll see up-to-date news. And
Up to the minute news. Yep,
that's where you will find up-to-the-minute news.
Exactly, because the title says it all. But of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Demon Machine. You can find Lionheart on Twitter at some Lionheart form from numbers and letters and crap.
10, spelled with a 10, baby.
All
I'm
right.
trying to get the real one, dude. The real one's like some Rastafarian inactive guy, but Twitter's really stingy about releasing names.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Other than that, let's see, Twitter. Of course, follow the channel, and I will see you guys on Saturday.
And check out our forums, too.
It depends on if I can see on Saturday. If I'm not here Saturday morning, it's because I'm still
Oh, you'll be fine.
tearing my eyes out. Although, I have thought I will try to play, because, I mean, I can see generally, but
I can
just
see.
don't ask me to look at the mini-map, that's all.
I can see generally. I have no idea what I'm looking at, but I know it's there.
So, all right, well, thank you all so very much for joining us. We will see you later.
Yeah.
I love you.
I
Love you too.
guys. You're
Happy
amazing.
New Year!
That's my D.
Happy New Year.